everybody, it's Bryan, and you are listening to the Course Building Secrets podcast. Whether you're a coach or a CEO, the success of your team and clients is based on your ability to deliver a consistent experience and guide them on the fastest path to results. This podcast will give you practical, real-life tips that you can use today to build your online experiences that get results and create raving fans. Why? So you can monetize your expertise and serve more people without adding more time or team to your business. If you're looking to uncover your $1 million framework, package it, and use it to scale, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Hello. In today's episode, we're going to continue our series on the 5 essential ingredients to creating your online course. And today's episode is essential ingredient number 3, which is practice. So in the past 2 episodes, we talked about number 1, what is the goal, problem, and transformation you are creating for your learners. Number 2 was using feedback to help your learners succeed. And 3 is practice. All right, so how do you put your learners into practice? Again, the default most people have when they're creating an online course is just to give information, package it up in a video, and put it out there. Sometimes people use worksheets, which typically people are using as sort of Mad Libs. That's what I was thinking of, where, you know, it's just sort of helping people track along with the video. So maybe key concepts with, you know, fill in the blank or, different notes or whatever else. So it's really just helping people create notes based on the video to help them stay engaged. And I would question and I would challenge you to really think about, instead of having worksheets like that, have a worksheet or some type of online activity, or better yet, an activity that they can do to apply what you're teaching back in their real world. And so when you think about practice, the goal of practicing is to get the reps in so you can actually do the thing you want to do. And you have to do the thing in order to get the results. So again, if we go back to our example of losing 10 pounds through strength training, you can learn all about strength training, but it's not until you actually pick up some weights that you get in the game and you can actually get to the goal, which is to lose 10 pounds through strength training, right? So how do you create actionable practice for people to help them actually do the thing you want them to do? How do you create those practice activities? And really, it's if you have, taken step 1 where you've put some steps down that people can take in order to get to the result, then what you're doing is you're going to look at each one of those steps, and each step should have some type of actionable practice that you can have them do. So something that they can go back and apply in their world in order to do it, right? So if your goal is to sell 25 courses, for example, then step 1 is to sell the first course, right? Then how do you practice that? Well, you've got to get on the phone. You've got to have some conversations, or you've got to find traffic and lead them to your sales page in order to start getting those sales. And so in just my saying that, there are multiple things that you can put somebody into actually doing, right? They have to have a sales page. They have to know how to get on the phone. They have to, have at least an idea of what they're selling, whether it be pre-selling or the actual course itself, right? And so in and of itself, there are several activities that you can have them do. And in fact, they could be doing all of those activities if you break it off into smaller steps, which I recommend, right? And so the activity becomes, go do the thing I'm teaching you, and then come back and do the next step. So at the end of the course, they've actually done all the steps that they need to do in order to get to the outcome, which if they've done that, then essentially, as you're teaching it, you're saying, you know what, if you've done all the things that I've given you to do, you will reach that transformation. So when you think about practice, it's getting them as close to their real work, their real goal as possible. And a lot of times this means simulating what they're actually doing, or giving them something that they're doing and having them do it. And then again, go back to the previous podcast where we're talking about feedback. Then you're giving them feedback based on the actions that they've taken. So if you're looking to put this online, the result of practicing a step could be something, again, that's automated. Maybe they submit something to you. Maybe they show you what they've done, be it a graphic or an actual, like a URL, right? Like if they're building their sales page, they could submit the sales page to you and you could provide feedback for them. If you want it totally automated, maybe they submit when they have sold one course or they've sold all 25 courses or whatever, right? So you're actually having them go out and practice. People need to be actively doing something in order to actually get results, right? You can't just think about results. You have to actually go out and do them. So the best example of this is if you want to lose 10 pounds through strength training, you cannot think about strength training. You have to actually lift up some weights and do the reps. You have to do the thing. So think about that as you're building your course. What are the reps? What are the weights that people need to lift in order to get through to the other side of solving the problem? And really think through that in terms of your program. How do you want them to practice? How do you want to put them in action? A lot of times when we're building courses, we'll actually do scenarios, which are really just sort of interactive case studies, if you will. So you're taking a specific situation that probably matches one that they're in, and through kind of simulating what the problem is, how to resolve it, you're actually just helping them do that and practice in a safe environment, right? So, for example, if you're an airline pilot, you don't just go up and say, well, I'm going to practice flying by going out and flying a passenger aircraft with 300 people on it, right? You don't learn the concept and then go and fly a commercial airplane. It just doesn't happen, which is a good thing. And so what happens is that they have a simulated activity. So they go into a simulator, and so they're taught the concept. They go into a simulator, they practice, and then, after a series of probably many, many practices, they actually go out and they can fly for real. So when you think about, each step along your path, are there things that need to be simulated before they would go out, kind of into a live environment, if you will, and fly the plane? How can you set up practice scenarios? How can you set up various maybe, situations that they may find themselves in that they can practice, or different things like that? One of the things that we do a lot of is if you have to have difficult conversations, there are ways to practice those difficult conversations before you go out and actually have one. That would be an example of something that we would create as a practice activity in an online course, is we would run the learner through various ways to practice a conversation based on the model that they've been given. And, however they answer the questions leads them to, hey, you did a great job, or not so much, right? And then they're able to actually practice that before they go and do that in the wild, before they go and do that in real life. So sometimes it's just a matter of putting them into situations where they can practice. Other times it's simulating that practice. And then other times it's just you want them to go out and do the thing. And that is really the practice. The biggest way to think about this is, how can you put them in action? How can you make them an active participant in what you're teaching? Take away just the passive listening and watching and put them into action. Have them do something. And based on what they've done, maybe they get additional training. Maybe they get additional feedback. Maybe they get additional practice. Maybe there's a next level or next step. All of those things are possible when they actually get out of watching and into doing. So think about how you can make that happen within your courses. All right, that is essential ingredient number 3. And in the next episode, we are going to cover the essential ingredient number 4, which is milestones and targets. All right, until next time. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. The best thing you can do is to take action on an idea or tip that resonated with you. To help you take action, I have a free gift for you that you can download in the show notes. During each episode, we publish an action plan worksheet and other helpful takeaways from our speakers in the Course Building Secrets Creators Lab. To register for free, click on the link in the show notes. Enjoy!
Hey everybody, are you a business owner ready to streamline and scale your business? Imagine solving the biggest business challenges with clarity, a strategy, and a clear plan. Hey, I'm Bryan, and I want to invite you to take the first step towards transforming your business with a free 30-minute discovery call. This call is an opportunity to discuss your goals, identify key challenges, and learn how my mentorship program can help you achieve the success you're aiming for. In just a half hour, we'll explore how you can scale your business by enhancing your authority strategy, engagement strategy, and retention strategy. You'll get personalized advice and a clear path forward. Ready to take the first step? Click on the link below that's in the show notes to book your free discovery call now. I hope to talk to you soon.